Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for the best real estate podcast online. It is time for Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live with Mike and Dave Elkins, presented by Elite Realty Group.
Let's talk some real estate stuff.
Let's do it.
Right? Let's give some real estate information, as we always try to do. We want to have a little fun.
Like I said, today we're kind of giving some safety tips.
We're giving some good stuff here today. You really want to pay attention to this today, because this not only is safety to save your life. Like, it's like we're going to be serious here for a few minutes. Right? We're going to get that down. Again, keep playing the game with us. Favorite three sides for your Thanksgiving Day dinner. We know you got the turkey. We know you got some kind of meat, whatever that may be.
Cheesecake with strawberry toppings.
Did we have to do that right now?
No.
Yeah. Cheesecake.
Yes.
I love cheesecake.
Gotta understand.
I don't think nothing's been said that I don't love.
Yeah, that's me.
Just love. You know what
That's
I'm
me.
saying? Starving to death. Everybody's probably left by now.
Yeah,
I think nobody
the crowd's
watching.
leaving. Everybody's
And
going
they're
to
eating
eat.
cheesecake and turkey and all
Yeah.
that stuff. They just started fixing it right now.
Can you go to Cracker Barrel yet and get that stuff?
I think you can go different places and get turkey.
Yeah.
You know, you can probably go get about whatever you want to. I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Let's talk some real estate. Here we
right,
go,
go
right?
ahead.
We
Yeah.
can't get out. When we get going on food, see,
Yeah.
we're like really bad.
We're gone.
So here's what we're talking about today. We want to give you some good real estate information. Again, this is going to be safety information. Whether you're buying a house, you have a house, you're renting, you got an apartment, wherever it is that you live, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Coming up on the holidays, right? As we've kicked off here today, we know we got Thanksgiving next week. We're going to give you some tips as far as things to be careful doing that. But we know we're not far from Christmas, man.
Just a little over a month.
We're just, and a lot of the things that we're going to say, a lot of people begin their decorating. Some people have already done their decorating.
Yeah.
We're going to give you some things, talk about some things that you need to be aware of, because we're going to talk about holiday fire hazards.
Right.
The holiday seasons, okay, starting from Thanksgiving and going through Christmas, are the most times of year that fires happen in homes, apartments, those kind of places. And some of the things we're going to talk about with you here today are the reasons that those fires happen.
Right.
Now, here's what we don't want to happen, okay? We don't want to get a call at any time and say, I need you to help me find me a house because my house, something happened to it.
I had a good friend last year whose house burnt.
Absolutely.
Just because of one of these reasons.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, really, we're going to give you some good information. We want to sell everybody watching a house.
Right.
But not because of this.
Yeah,
not because of something happened. Maybe you've already got that house. We don't want anything to happen to it. So pay a little bit of attention to this. Good information. That's why we want you to share this video, like the video, get it to as many people as possible, because this is information that everybody can use, right?
Yeah.
No matter where you live around the world, you can use this information. Now, again, fire hazards are real big this time of year. So we're going to give you 5 things today that you need to watch out for that are hazards that you want to make sure you avoid. Okay, so you want me to kick it off?
Go ahead, yeah.
So here we go. Here's number 1, okay? You got to pay attention to what some people's already put up, the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
Whether that be a live Christmas tree, which a lot of people do,
Right.
or whether that be the artificial Christmas tree.
Yeah, they burn too.
There's fire hazards in both of those. Now, if you got the live Christmas tree, you're going to want to watch about that thing getting dried out.
Right.
Do you remember? Let's go back in time here.
do.
Do you remember when we were little boys, right?
Right, yeah.
And we had the gigantic live Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was a monster.
And like we had it the whole time.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we love to do after Christmas, I'm getting on a story here, but I'm going to get somewhere fast.
Right, go ahead.
We love to have this big bonfire and burn the boxes and the paper and all that stuff. So we knew the tree wasn't going to be able to be used no more. So we're like, let's burn the tree.
Right.
We wanted a big fire.
Yeah.
Little did we know that tree would burn as fast as it burned. We were small.
Yeah, it was just like gone.
But so like we had this little fire pit over the hill from our house, and here we throw the whole Christmas tree in there. It's probably 8 foot tall. We throw the whole thing in there, and literally it was just immediately.
Yeah.
It was just gone, engulfed in flames. But should that have been sitting in a house?
Yeah.
There would have been no prayer for that house not to you be able to get that thing put out.
Right.
So again, if you got a live Christmas tree, you want to make sure you keep it moist.
Yeah.
There are again different things. Even you can put in your little solution, your water down there, that help do that.
Right.
Keep that moist, because again, your lights and those kind of things that's on there, it don't take much heat to get those things gone.
Right.
So you're going to want to pay attention to that. If you're the person out there that's going to be putting up, you already have up that live Christmas tree. Don't let that thing get dried out.
Right.
Because it's a bad thing. The second thing is with the Christmas tree, if you got the artificial kind, which a lot of people do, Okay, you're going to want to pay attention to your lights.
Yes.
All right. A lot of times, a lot of fires happen in homes because, again, now this is me. I'm gonna have to watch this. Like, I didn't even think of this till I saw this today.
Yeah.
So you plug a set of lights into the wall, and there's your power,
Mm-hmm.
and you run all the other lights up the tree off of the one little strand.
Right.
Well, that's like an overload on a lot of different things there. One may be the outlet. One may be the strand of lights that continue to go up. That first set's kind of bearing everything.
Right.
So it heats those lights up, especially if you've got older lights and you're not using the new LED things.
Yeah,
Those things
go
get
LED.
hot.
Go LED. That's a safe way.
Now, those artificial lights, they put off the heat.
Yeah, they get
That-
hot, especially when you leave them on constantly.
That artificial tree is just like plastic. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just a
Right.
plastic material substance. That can get hot and catch on fire. Here's the stat that's on here that I thought was crazy. Annually, between this time that we're talking about right here, annually there's 200 home fires annually for these two things that we're talking about,
Really?
resulting in $14.8 million in property damage.
Wow.
So we're not talking about something that's like, a once in a million going to happen.
Right.
200 annual fires each year happen because of these two things.
Right.
So you're going to want to pay attention to that.
Right.
But you were mentioning the LED lights.
Yeah. They're a little bit
that's the
more
way to go.
expensive, but
Yeah.
they've actually come down since they originally come out a
Absolutely,
few
since they
years
came
back.
out. Yes.
But I mean, that's the way to go. If you're going to use the old school lights, I'm going to call them. I don't know what they're called technically, but the old lights is not LED.
Right.
Unplug it at night when you go to bed.
Absolutely.
Sabrina says put bleach in your water. I'm guessing that's for a live tree. Put
Yep.
bleach in your water.
Don't drink it.
Don't drink that water.
Yes. Do not drink that water.
But yeah, that would I guess that helps with keeping the tree moist
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
But again, about to the lights, use LED if possible. If not, unplug that tree when you go to bed. Because like I said, a lot of people
Or leave.
right,
Leave your house
when you leave the house.
anytime.
Because a lot of times people plug those lights in.
Yes.
They leave them plugged up. For the whole
long
season,
time.
they don't turn them off.
Yeah. It gets
So
hot.
yeah, it sits there and gets hot.
I mean, there's electric going through there. You're getting hot. You're looking at those things. So, again, that's something you just want to be aware of. Remember, we don't want you to call us because this has happened to your house.
Right.
This is your home. This is like everything you got there. So, you want to pay. Yeah. And now, again, I'm going to go a little bit further with this on the tree thing. A lot of people, again, will put up wreaths. Get
Right.
live wreaths, those kind of things, put lights in them, same kind of thing. You got to
Right.
be aware of those.
Right.
That wreath, you can't water it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to those things. A lot of different fire hazards are out this time of year. So the tree being the first one. All right, that's number one. You got number two.
All right, number two is I think I talk about this stuff a lot, but it's going to go back to just cleanliness.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to say greasy ovens.
Yes.
So it says the biggest day of the year for oven fires is Thanksgiving.
Which we're coming up on next Thursday.
Yes.
And we're making our meals right here on this
Right.
page today. Right.
Followed closely, this is all according to the National Fire Protection Agency.
Gotcha.
A close second is Christmas Day.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
That's the cooking days,
That's the two
man.
biggest cooking days,
That's
I
the
guess.
cooking days.
So obviously the grease just builds up in the oven.
Right.
You got a lot of that. You're cooking all day long, and it will cause it can start a fire. Now here's the next thing. This is a good little tip. So it says, what do you do in that situation?
That's what I was getting ready to
Should
ask.
your oven catch fire? What do you do?
And you got a grease fire.
You got a grease fire, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people think they're going to open the oven, and I've got a fire extinguisher here. I've got salt or whatever all that stuff is, and let's open it up and let's just spray it. They say
Gotcha.
that, according to these people,
Gotcha.
that's the worst thing you can do because you then let that fire get air.
Get air too.
And so even by putting it in there, it's going to blow it out.
Right.
So it'll blow out on you, and now it spreads through the house.
Right, gotcha.
So the best thing to do is leave the oven shut.
Mm-hmm.
Turn everything off, leave it shut, and call the fire department.
Oh, really? I would have
Yes.
not thought that.
Yes.
I would have thought you
Don't give it air. If you give it air, it will spread.
or water.
Right. No.
Yeah, especially
yeah.
water and grease. You
Right.
don't want to do anything like that as far as that goes. But again, you're talking about why are we saying this today? Why are we giving this information to you today? We're coming up on these times of year that this happens.
Right.
A lot of times people say, that can't happen to me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can happen to any of us. So to be prepared for that, as he was going with the oven, take you a little time here before we start this cooking, and I'll eat all this delicious food that we're talking about here today on our show. Take you a little bit of time, if you've not in a while, and go ahead and get your oven good and clean.
Go ahead and prep
you
it.
shouldn't then.
Yeah.
really have to worry about at least a fire being from oven, the buildup of the grease.
Right.
You're going to want to make sure that
Like I said, if you've cooked in it all year, maybe you ain't cleaned your oven in a while. Maybe you still got your grease in there from last Thanksgiving or last Christmas.
But it's true. You know, we're like saying, but
again, it's one of those things that you don't think about a whole lot.
Right.
You just cook.
You turn the oven on, you pop whatever in there, you cook it, you get done. Unless you got this bad spill and you're smoking the whole house up,
right?
You probably ain't paying a whole lot of attention.
That's not something that you want to deal with when you're getting ready to eat all this delicious food either.
Absolutely.
You don't want to have to worry about a grease fire in the oven.
There ain't no way. There's no way you want to do that. So that's number 2. Anything else on that one?
No, just
keep
remember, you're better off to keep the door shut. Call the fire department.
Right. That's according to
Get out of the house.
survey that we're talking about right here.
Grab as much food as you can.
So here's number 3. All right, get the food first. Right, get the food and get out first.
Yeah.
If you just joined us, we want to hear from you today. We've got a lot of good things coming on here. We've got a lot of great things that's being commented on today. We want to know what your 3 favorite side dishes are for your, I almost said Halloween, for your Thanksgiving Day meal that's coming up next Thursday. We want to hear the 3 favorite sides that you like to have with your meal.
Here,
you can pick more than
Catherine
3.
just said hash brown casserole, mashed potatoes, and rolls.
Catherine had to come in and start bringing up the casserole again, like starving me all over again. That's a
great
answer.
Somebody said here a minute ago, I don't remember who it was. Oh, Gage, he come in here and said Nicole's banana pudding.
Nanner pudding.
And then
can you go wrong with nanner pudding?
Siobhan said pumpkin rolls.
Man. Yes. I tell you, it's good. We talk food, man. These people are the food. Yes. I love Catherine's answer though. I'm a casserole like anything.
Right.
Give me casserole, I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we gave you 2 warnings, 2 things you're going to want to pay attention to as far as hazards go with fires this upcoming holiday season. So let's go with number 3. This one's probably coming for a lot of people next week because this is when we do this one, okay? But the third, again, you want to pay attention to is if you like to do deep frying,
which we do,
specifically with the turkey, whether that again be Thanksgiving or Christmas or both of those occasions, there are some precautions that you're going to want to take with that.
Yes,
okay,
we know these.
If you want to see what can happen, we almost got this today, but we didn't really have time because we were running into we couldn't get scheduled today. Go to YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. So help us out when we come to you next.
Yeah.
But go to YouTube and YouTube a turkey blowing up in a deep fryer.
Deep fried turkey
If you've never saw that, this will tell you why what we're getting ready to say to you is a very important thing.
Yes.
The main thing is, this is what I'm going to tell you, the main thing if you deep fry turkey, make sure that the turkey is completely dry.
Right.
And there's no ice or water whatsoever.
Let it be thawed out completely.
On that turkey.
Yes.
If you put a frozen turkey in this deep fryer,
you better run.
Get out of Dodge. I mean, as far as you can go because it will blow up. Like literally blow up. Go to YouTube. Don't take our word. Go to YouTube and watch this. A lot of fire departments have put out safety videos.
Right.
And they've even set up a place, like a porch, and some of them the living room and things, to show what happens.
Yes, you talk about spreading.
Good. Yeah, it's not a good thing. So what they say to you is when you're going to use your deep fryer, don't use it on your porch.
No.
Definitely don't use it in the house.
Go out in the yard.
Get out in the yard, away from anything, just in case that there is a problem.
Yes.
Not necessarily even that it blows up. Somebody comes by, having a good time, having a pre-turkey day football throw, and they throw it and it knocks it over or whatever. Right. That you just get happy and you knock it over.
Right.
Get away from your home when you deep fry these turkeys. Make sure that you get away from that. I ain't going to go too much deeper into that. Go to YouTube and watch the video.
Yeah, I will tell you, make sure you keep your oil level right too.
Absolutely.
Don't overfill the deep fryer because when you let that turkey down in there, the bigger the turkey, that oil is going to start coming up.
It will rise.
So when it comes up and comes over the side, I'm the man that always lets it down in there.
Yes.
So
I'm back getting ready to
wear a big glove.
Yes.
And let it down in there slowly.
Yes.
Very slowly. Don't just stop it in there and get out. You got to kind of stand there and just brave it out.
That's right.
But
you'll think it's getting ready to blow.
You'll think it's going to blow up.
But if you're dry, you're okay.
Make sure it's dry and thawed out.
Yes. Now again, we're going to give our disclaimer here. We are not professionals in any of this. We are not advocating for you to drop one in there.
No.
We're not telling you to do nothing. We're just giving you our opinions today.
Yes.
If you need, like an expert, call somebody that knows a whole lot more than us. We're just giving you our opinions today on this. We're not telling you to do or not to do any of these things.
Just be careful.
Be careful. That's exactly right. So that's number 3. What do you got for
Number
number
4 is overloaded. You kind of touched on this a minute ago, but overloaded outlets and extension cords. Now, this is, again, something that people don't think about. But, if you're going to plug several things into one outlet, you're better off to use a surge protector, because what that surge protector will do is when it gets hot, it should kick itself off.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so use a surge protector when you're running all your Christmas lights and all that stuff. Even a lot of times extension cords. So extension cords, a lot of times people will run an extension cord over to their tree. They'll cover the extension cord with either the skirt or they'll have presents laying on all these cords in the floor. If those cords get hot,
that's right. There's your
they
heat.
will catch the fire to the skirt or to the presents.
I was going to say, think how easy that the paper is that you wrap presents.
It's that old thin stuff you can blow on and rip.
Yes,
exactly unless your mom, she buys that stuff, it's that thick you can't tear with.
You got to have a
chainsaw to get in there to it.
To be able to get to it. So you want to pay attention to that, though. Again, we're talking about several hundred fires annually happen because of these things we're talking to you about today. So you're going to want to pay attention to it and make sure, again, you're taking these precautions against this. Last one before anything else on the extension cords?
No, again, you're better off to use a surge protector.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, I saw this thing the other day that Morristown Utilities put out. Shout out to Morristown Utilities. That they were even saying, loading even though they've got surge protectors in, that you can overload the surge protector, and it could be it could be faulty.
Right.
And there you go again. So you got to be careful with all that.
People don't realize, because you got most of the time people's got stuff plugged up. This time it's Christmas time.
Absolutely.
They've got stuff plugged up all over the place. You've got these little whatnots sitting around.
Absolutely.
It's got stuff lit up. You got them candles up in your windows.
Right.
You got
all kinds of things. Yeah. The decorations are there. That leads to what we're going to talk about next. Number 5, and the last one is just things that are obstructing your heating source.
Right.
Whether that be a fireplace, electric baseboard heaters, different types of heaters that you may have in your home. We are, again, a lot of people's getting ready to bring decorations in that are normally not there, a Christmas tree that is normally not there. So what does that do? A lot of times it crowds your living area more than it's normally crowded. You have jackets that are coming into play now, okay? Right. You have things that are keeping you warm, so on and so forth. So the obstruction of the heating source that you have, whether that be fireplaces, gas heating.
A lot of times people's bringing them little box heaters out right now, them little stand heaters.
Absolutely. Any of those things, you got to watch about having them too close to any that we've talked about today, whether that be the tree, again, decorations that are just out. You got to watch about having all of those things too close, because, again, with enough heat, especially ran over a period of time, kind of like what you were saying earlier. A lot of times we plug in those things, we don't worry about turning them off.
You never turn them off?
They stay on around the clock, so on and so forth. That heat source continues to build up. Now, going back to all this, so your heating source, make sure it is clear, is unobstructed.
Right.
To be able to get the heat out that you need to heat your house, but there's no worries that it's going to get something that's been brought into your home. Again, that's presents, that's trees, that's cords, that's wreaths, that's the candles in the window. All of those things. Make sure that you are prepared for that. Why are we telling you this? I thought you were going to talk real estate. Why are we telling you this? Your home, we know this. You know this. The biggest asset that you have is your home.
Right.
One thing, it is where you are. It is your safe place. It's your protection. You want to protect it as much as possible. Everything that you own, literally, is usually in your home. Your memories are there. Your kids were born in there. All of your savings, everything that you've saved from the time that you've been there is there. If you're like me, it's crammed in every corner. Anywhere you can put stuff, it's there. Everywhere. Fires are real. They can destroy that in a matter of moments. We want to tell you, be prepared for that. These are hazards that you want to look at. These are things you want to take into account, and make sure that, again, these annual fires, that the $14.6 million in damage that happens annually. Yes, 16 injuries and 6 deaths. That's the average.
Right.
We don't want that to happen to you. We do not want that to happen to you.
We thank each and every one of you for listening to today's podcast. Tune in for future episodes by subscribing to our channel and get the latest and greatest real estate information right here on Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live, presented by Elite Realty Group. Until next time, have a great and blessed day.